quality, crafted by us, where ideas become reality. Crafted by us, just grab this opportunity in this community. Crafted by us, yeah, in this community. Crafted by us.
Before I tell you about the supplies that you're going to need, let me show you first what we're making. We're going to make this felted cuff, and to do that you will need the following supplies. A pair of scissors, and I am using a piece of salvaged wool, and some buttons, thread, and a sewing needle. Some fiber. I just grabbed, a bag of fiber. You don't need very much for this, so whatever you have on hand will work. Some fabric tack. I have a jar. Yo-yos. You know what yo-yos are? Can you see that? Let me get a darker one. So a yo-yo is just a circle of fabric that has been sewn inside, and it makes the sewn part is right here, and then this part is finished. So yo-yos, and a needle felting machine. All right, so I don't have a needle felting machine. My mom does, and I'm borrowing it. So if you don't have a needle felting machine or a mom who has one, then go with the good old standby, which is your piece of foam and your needle felting needle. It's just going to take you a bit longer, but I thought it would be fun to do it on the needle felting machine. So go get those things and let's get started with the project. The first thing that you're going to need to do is get your piece of wool, and you're going to want to cut a piece out big enough for your cuff. So there you go, a piece of wool. And let's just lay it down here. I'm going to tell you how big it is. So this one is about, well, on one end it's 3 inches, and on the other it's 3.5. So 3 inches by 10 inches is about approximately what I'm starting with. I've set up the needle felting machine, and I've moved the camera because I want you to be able to see it. I know there's a lot of people out there who have wanted to see how one of these work or are interested in it, and they've just never seen it. So I've moved it around a bit so you can see it. And let me just quickly tell you just a bit about it. You can see there's nothing up top here. Can you see that? There's nothing for spools or no dials. On the side, we just have this, and that just turns your needles up and down to start. This comes off. And if you see inside here, well, I got a bit of fluff, but in here there's no bobbin, there's no mechanics, there's nothing. It's just these needles, which are needle felting needles inside here, and I have a protective plastic guard so I don't felt my fingers, and that's it. So really, if you've been considering getting a needle felting machine, but you're worried you're not going to be able to know how to use it, I don't think that should be an issue for anybody. So I'm just going to get started, and what I'm going to do is put my wool in here. See, it just slides through just like this. There's no feed dog either, like a regular sewing machine, so I can just move this however I want. And then I'm just going to layer my fiber on here and see what happens. So I'm just grabbing, here's some white. I just lay it on here. And here we go. Maybe. If you turn it on. You gotta turn it on first. There we go. And now this edge is scissored kind of look. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to add some of this yarn kind of in a circle right here in the middle. See how I've done it on this one just to add a little background for the yo-yo. So I'm going to do that, and while I'm doing that, I'm also going to go back with my needle and felt this just a little bit more to give it more of an organic edge like this other side has. So there we have it. I've finished this edge, and we have some fibers sticking up here to add some texture. And so we're done with our needle felting. Go ahead and put all that stuff away, and let's move on to the decorating part. The yo-yo goes in the middle, and then a button on top of it, and then a button on the edge. Then I'm going to sew my button, and then I'll add this at the end because I'm going to glue this, and this takes a bit of time to dry. And I don't want to wait for it to dry before I can add my button. And then trim off the excess thread. Now that you have your button sewn on, you're going to need a way for it to stay. And to do that, just roughly guess how big this is. I'm eyeballing it. I'm going to fold the other end of my cuff in half, about the width of the button. And make sure you give yourself enough edge here so you don't cut all the way to the edge. So I'm folding it back. Let me show you here. Fold your end back, the end without the button, and now with your scissors, just make a little slit. Remember little, because if you need it bigger, you can make it bigger, but once you cut it, it might take a bit of work to repair it. So I only cut about 1/4 of an inch. Now when I open it, I have this slot here, see, and then my button hopefully will fit through it, and if it doesn't, I will make my little slit bigger. You just don't want it too big because you want it to be a bit of a snug fit so that it'll hold nicely. Hey, look at that. Looks fantastic, I must say. Last step here. Lay your piece flat and get out your fabric tack glue. This stuff is kind of smelly, so be warned. I just used this for the first time last week and absolutely love it because it dries really quickly, and nothing that I've glued has fallen off, and I put it through quite a bit of test by wearing it. Anyways, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just put some down like this where I want my yo-yo. Stick my yo-yo over that, just like that. And then I'm going to stick some around the center of my yo-yo, just like that. Good enough. And then stick this button in the middle, and I'm just going to hold that, and it will dry fairly quickly. Within like a minute or two, it's not going to fall off, and within 15 minutes or so, it's all good to go. So that's pretty awesome. That does it for this episode of Crafted by Us. Let me show you again what I made this one before. That was a sample, and then this is what we did during the show. I will have some kits put together for this project if you are interested in making this and already have like a needle felting machine or hand needle felting tools. Get to my Etsy shop by going to my website at www.craftedby.us. And remember, if you are interested in winning a prize from the prize gallery, just leave me a comment, and I hope to hear from you soon.
Crafted by us, a show with commonality. Crafted by us, where ideas become reality. Crafted by us, just grab this opportunity. In this community, crafted by us. Yeah, in this community, crafted by us.